Welcome back everyone, and today we're going to look at the Hornby product code R8788, and that is the Hornby scale dial corrugated NISSEN HUT, pre-built, hand decorated in 1.76 00 gauge, painted and designed for post-war. It is definitely a recent model, and the size comparison we can see here with the ruler indicated, the length and the width, and the dimensions then obviously is 95 millimeters by 80 millimeters in width. That's 95 millimeters in length and 80 millimeters in width. Perfect for agri, barn or military display or small airfield store. With a great size of 20 feet wide and 30 feet long in real life, this must have been an excellent hut to be hiding in or to use as storage. These days, a lot of people are using them as small vacation lots or small rented apartments. And at this stage, I would say if I had one, I would turn it into a model railway layout hut. To all, after the Second World War, hundreds of huts became homes for the homeless and for the survivors of the war. Let's get into the description. A NISSEN hut is a prefabricated steel structure originally for military use, especially as barracks, made from a 210 degrees portion of cylindrical skin of corrugated iron placed over a steel and wood frame. It was designed during the First World War by Major Peter Norman Nissen. It was also used extensively during the Second World War and was adapted as a similar concept hut in the United States. So why did I decide to get this? Not for the Castle of Linroot, and it's definitely not for the Taraka WWII Railways layout, the Benton-on-Sea layout. No, for sure not. This will be for a new diorama / small miniature layout that will be themed in World War I as well as World War II. Real life, a NISSEN hut could easily accommodate 40 to 60 people who slept close together, or close to each other rather, on cots or on the floor, actually during wartime. Now let's jump into the history. Between 16 and 18 April 1916, Major Peter Norman Nissen of the 29th Company Royal Engineers of the British Army began to experiment with hut designs. Nissen, a mining engineer and inventor, constructed 3 prototype semi-cylindrical huts. The semi-cylindrical shape was derived from the drill shed roof at Queen's University, Kingston, Ontario. That was obviously collapsed in 1896. Nissen's design was subject to intensive review by his fellow officers and Lieutenant Colonels Shelley, Sewell and MacDonald, and General Clive Gerard Liddell, whose nickname was Jock. He helped Nissen with the design. At least 100,000 was produced in World War I. And of course, any excuse to visit the Castle of Lynn layout again and to make it and get it into use. But just a pity, life also always interferes, and time is not always on our side. And with all my chores I have to do as a wife, a mother, as well as a working woman, I've got to do all these things and time is just not, there's just not enough time to do our favorite hobbies as usual. And yes, and then you are forced to, this time of the afternoon, try and make a video, and the lighting is not so perfect, so please bear with me as we continue with the video. And at the same time, we can see some improvements I've done to the Castle of Lynn layout. Back to the NISSEN HUT, and they were more so used in World War II. So a great model item to add on any layout, especially if you're building a diorama or a small little World War I or World War II little layout. This is a great item to add for that purpose, which brings us to our story, which is an indication of what is next at Te Railways, what I've got planned for the future. Starting off, I've decided that I would like to build either small diorama or small type of layout to use for my World War I, the Great War little layout or diorama, and then also a World War II diorama or small layout. So most of the items I have got already, and I've been collecting them since 3 years ago. And now seeing that most of my wartime locomotives has arrived, I am just waiting for some tanks and some Spitfire planes to arrive, but more on that when we start the next episodes. And it will also be in a volume installment, and so if you're interested, please sure to watch it and don't miss out. Click on the subscribe button to be notified as soon as that videos are out to be enjoyed. So yes, once again, thank you so much for joining me on this short little inlet of what my plans are with this NISSEN HUT. And again, Hornby's got some great items, and even though some items were built many moons ago, they're still in circulation and still definitely worth it to have on your layout. So if it does fit in your theme, and even in modern times, you can also use it. So go and look at these items online. There might be one left in the store close to you. And with that, I wish you all the best. As usual, regards, Elizabeth.